Hey, I'm Tormod, and welcome back to The Pulse. In case you couldn't tell by the time you're watching this, have a new time that we're going live, and that is 5:30 p.m., still every Monday on Facebook and YouTube, live every week. Don't forget that. If you miss it, don't worry. We've got videos that we're going to post. We're going to get the VODs up. But without further ado, let's look back at last week here. We had Pacific's Funniest Videos, and you may have seen it's also hosted by a rather dashing gentleman, not to toot my own horn. But we didn't actually have it last week. We had to reschedule. We will hopefully be going live this Friday. We still need your videos. We would love to have your videos so I can interview you. We can get you your prizes. Submit those to hashtag PFV2020. Also, last week, in lieu of Pacific's Funniest Videos, we had, with one of the incredible producers we have in the back room, a video game event with Justin Willing and Jordan Miller playing Forgiveness. They got through the first half of the game, but don't worry, there's still a whole other half that you can watch this Friday, found on Facebook live. It's very entertaining, and if they get stumped, you might hear me yelling at them a little bit. But next up, let's get to our first segment of the week, politics. The first presidential debate was last week, and we got a whole lot of news going for it. Samuel Dinky and Angelique Woodings talk about the vice presidential debate, and be sure to tune in on YouTube and Facebook to see the full preview they have and a reflection on that debate. Sports, next segment we have a lot of stuff going on in the world of sports. Episode out this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at the clip from the episode.
Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Zach Vader. Welcome to this week's intro video for PTB Radio, the sports episodes. So this week we're going to be talking a lot about the NBA Finals and what that entailed. The Lakers won their 17th NBA title as LeBron James earns his 4th ring and Anthony Davis earns his 1st, along with the other Lakers. So we're going to be looking into a lot of the NBA Finals, analyzing those matchups and things like that. From there, we're going to move on to MLB baseball, where the playoffs are in full swing in the championship series in the American League and National League, as the Tampa Bay Rays are taking on the Houston Astros in the American League Championship Series. And over in the National League, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Atlanta Braves. So I'm going to go into those matchups again as those are being played out this week. Next week will be the World Series. And on to football, as a lot went on this week in football. A lot of big-time injuries again, a lot of big news again that will have some implications on the rest of the season for the NFL and possibly next year. So I'm looking forward to seeing you this week on the episode of Sports for PTB Radio.
Next up, let's go a little bit beyond the world of sports and go beyond the jersey, which is our next segment of the week. Let's see, we've got an interview this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at a clip from that episode.
What's going on, guys? So on this week of Beyond the Jersey, we're going to talk about mental health. I know this past week was mental health awareness, so I thought it'd be appropriate just to see what these student athletes do to cope with mental health. I know for myself, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, student athletes, they deal with it. We have a lot to take on, a lot on our plate. So when you stack on mental health and stress and anxiety and all that stuff, it can sometimes be a little overwhelming. So we're going to dive into some of the lives of the student athletes and see what they struggle with and how they cope with it. So stay tuned, guys.
Mixing it up a little bit, we are going to move away from sports and into what to watch when you're watching with Adelaide Spence talking about the 2019 film Yes, God, Yes. Let's see what they have to say about that.
Hello, University of the Pacific. Welcome back to What to Watch When You're Watching, your one-stop shop for movies that came out, I guess, time's irrelevant. This week, I'm reviewing Yes, God, Yes, another 2020 film directed by first-time director Karen Maine. It stars Natalia Dyer, who you would know from Stranger Things, as well as the only other real notable person is a smaller supporting role from Alicia Bowe, who you would know from 13 Reasons Why. The movie itself is about a young teen girl in the early to mid-2000s who discovers her sexuality and sort of coming to terms with it while also attending Catholic school and going to like a Catholic camp about working through your demons and everything within yourself. First things first, I'm not a very religious person. I have a hard time connecting to a lot of religious films. That being said, that some have worked, and this is sort of one of them. I feel like this generation-defining idea of Catholic guilt is somewhat lost on me. This idea of forced repression, I have a harder time connecting with. That being said, I still think director Maine, I think that she did a wonderful job portraying it. I think there's a lot of relatability to the characters. Natalia Dyer, Alice, she has a wonderful performance. I'm upset. I'm sort of upset. I saw this, or I didn't see this. It was released back in May, and it was sort of lost since then. That's really upsetting because this is a great small film. Sort of give prowess on the writer who is also Maine, as well as just your lead actress. Dyer hasn't really done much. She doesn't have that big star potential per se. She hasn't been given any vehicles to flex her acting muscles. And the fact she has this great performance here, it's really upsetting because she does a lot of great things and people just forgot about it. The movie itself, I feel like I have a hard time talking about it because it's surprisingly straightforward. The film tries to go through these smaller but significant emotional beats of Alice discovering a new part of her sexuality or something, adding to it, connecting with another man or finding something attractive in either like a human or inanimate object, and just sort of discovering how much sex and sexuality means to her, being surrounded by this idea of she can't express herself. That being said, the film does become somewhat one note because you don't get to see a lot of the weight on her outside of just the desire for sex. Everything except for one scene. It's sort of leading into I think the third act of the film, where she happens upon a gay bar and gets to talk to a lesbian. I think she worked at the bar there, and there's this really like quiet moment of just understanding of I was repressed too, and now that I understand it and now that I get to express a feeling, I'm a lot happier. I think there's a good emotional payoff there that the rest of the film does not get to. That being said, again, it's not a bad film. Again, Dyer is still wonderful. The supporting cast is all fantastic, even if they're relative unknowns, and Karen Mann as the director is someone who I see a lot of promise in. I just think the story itself doesn't have a lot going on in it that sort of can lose you after a while. I still recommend the film. Just know going in, you are getting this singular idea. And while it will be expanded upon, there's not much beyond that. Overall, I would give it about a 3.6, 3.7 out of 5. So thank you for watching. What to watch when you're watching. Now I will send you back to the main show.
That was our last segment for this week. But before we let you go, one last thing. Pacific's Funniest Videos. Again, I'm the host of that show, and hopefully we're going to be going up on this Friday for, another little interview challenge because we want to give you guys some prizes. Submit your videos to hashtag PFV2020, and you could just be on the next episode this Friday. Let's go see what that little graphic we have. Yeah, there we go.
Welcome to Pacific's Funniest Videos, the show where you send in your funniest clips and we'll pick the most popular ones of the week. Each week, we'll check our hashtag PFV2020 on Instagram and Twitter and select a few of the most liked videos to show here on Pacific's Funniest Videos. Like a few of these ones right here. Who submit will be invited onto the show via video call where they can talk about their clip with the hosts and compete against each other in fun games to win a prize. So be sure to send us your latest funny TikTok or dig through your Snapchat memories for some funny moments and post them with hashtag PFV to see them on our show. We're excited to see what funny memories and videos you have to share with us today.
Now, I know you got to be sick of seeing me talk to you, so we're going to go ahead and let you go. But before I let you go, don't forget, every Monday, 5:30 p.m. is the new time for The Pulse with your host, Tormod Andersen. I'll see you next week.